Look at you. You're a tech wizard. Well,
I think so.
I'm
I
not
think
sure
it did
yet.
it. How do I know? There's no light on this.
Why are we're taping
thing.
now?
We are, because I just wanted to make
Oh.
sure that he knew that we were taping now, because I just figured it'd be good. So, hello everybody. Welcome to Talk About with Biff, Lucky, and Mr. Fun, the podcast where we will talk about everything. We will talk about anything. We will talk about a lot tonight in episode 147. Hard to believe 147. You know, we're coming up on 150, obviously, but almost 2 3/4 years we've been doing this,
That's
gentlemen.
crazy.
Without missing a week of a post.
We have
That's
not
what's
missed
amazing.
a week of a post. We have cheated from time to time, I suppose, in the sense that we've recorded 2 one night, so we could put 2 in a row, but we have not missed a week of posting. So we have done this for the benefit of our many listeners and viewers out there. So
who's in charge of the 150th episode celebration party extravaganza?
We hadn't gotten that far. I suppose we have 3 weeks now to plan it. Unfortunately, I think that's Halloween weekend. Well, when would that be? Today's 147. Next week's 148. No, it would be the weekend. It would be like November 8th or something like that. So we'll have to figure that out. But we will have some form of celebration, if not in person. Maybe we'll have some forms of bells and whistles. So, anyways, Rockfish let us in again. Quickly, Rockfish is in Florida for the winter. As we said, he has migrated south there with Mrs. R. And they are still enjoying the podcast. We are still sponsored by our favorite friends at Scotty's Vodka. Drink more Scotty's Vodka if you are drinking vodka at all. So please do that.
I'm going up for a plant visit this week to visit Scotty and Jen. So I'll tell them you guys said hi.
Do they have high security so you don't walk out with like 42 bottles of Scotty's vodka?
I'm hoping to walk out with 42 bottles of Scotty's vodka.
Well, good. Last week we had a Mr. Fun told a joke, which is what was the German word for virgin? And Mr. Fun, do you remember the punchline to your joke?
It was wow. What was it? Something tight,
right? Which is sort of an English or Americanization, bastardization of the German language. Well, we had somebody comment on YouTube because we posted it on one of the shorts, which just very quickly, we've had over 14,000 people watch our shorts when we put them out there on YouTube and the other channels, Instagram. Well, actually, that's just YouTube. Instagram, I'm sure we have similar numbers. Frankly, they're not counted the same. But anyways, somebody very kindly said, that's not the German word for virgin. The German word for virgin is Jungfraulein, which is interesting for those that, Jung is close to the word young, and Fraulein, if you think of Fraulein, right? Which is a woman or a girl. So it's young girl. That's what they've said for virgin, which is an interesting German word, as they have a lot of things that come together like that. So I
think they're very literal. Like I thought it'd be funny to come back with the German word for bra. And the joke is the German word for bra is stoppenfloppen. So stoppenfloppen is the German word for bra, but that's a joke. But then somebody commented that the real word they call bras, which is in English, it's shortened for brassiere. They call them BHs. That they use an abbreviation, BH, and it stands for Brustenhalter, which is breast lifter. So again, it's like literally, that's pretty funny that they actually have a word for it. But yeah, so stopping is not the appropriate term. So please don't.
And I'm proud of the fact that we continue to press onto the German language, given my heritage. So I appreciate. It is my native tongue. So, other big news of the week is that the Lucky family had a car pass 200,000 miles on their odometer, which is impressive. It is a Japanese car, right? So that says, correct me if I'm wrong on that, Lucky. I believe it is.
You would know better than I do. Yeah.
It's an Infinity, right?
Infinity, yeah. Is that a Japanese car?
Yeah, which is an offshoot of a Nissan. So we're clear on that. The most amazing thing to me, though, is that the Lucky family listens to commercial radio. Because there was a radio playing in the background, and I thought it was a song, but then all of a sudden a commercial comes on. You are the only person in the world that I know that really listens to commercial radio in the car. because it was like
Okay,
FM
so
radio.
this is Mrs. Lucky's car. She is a minimalistic kind of person. Her
Okay.
car is equipped for Sirius satellite radio or whatever, or XM or whatever it is called these days. She just doesn't. She doesn't. She likes to listen to WTOP news,
Okay.
etc. And she has refused to get a new car until she gets to 200,000 miles, which she did.
Okay.
And so we've been watching it for the last couple weeks, and we decided to get it on video and share with you guys. So yeah,
Just another exciting night in the Lucky household as the
that's how we
video was
roll.
sent to
So that
us.
was
And
Yeah.
Friday night.
It
Yeah.
made it made me think of my next door neighbor. They got a teenage kid who likes to tinker with cars, and so I gave him one of my dead batteries. It was free of charge.
What
Very good.
have you ever? What's the
charge.
most miles that you've had on a car ever? Like of cars you've kept that long, or used car you bought that you kept for a while?
I have a used car I bought. It has 131,000 miles on it right now. I've not, first world problem. I had company cars, so I turned in cars a lot. So I never
Yeah.
really had a car go very high on mileage. But 131 is where I am at the moment. Mr. Fun?
And I can't remember. My first car died on me with maybe
All right.
130
Yeah.
or something. 130,000
So
miles.
and then on that same Friday night,
Yeah.
Mr. Fun has discovered AI. And he has now been sending AI caricatures of himself. One was at a Yankees game. The other one was him telling a joke with an ape next to him, which I didn't quite understand the premise with the ape there. But Mr. Fun, you are.
It was
It was
Bigfoot.
Bigfoot.
It was Bigfoot.
Okay,
It
well, I
wasn't
didn't
an ape.
recognize Bigfoot.
Yes.
I will admit that. But you are now on that. You were in Lucky's space, Mr. Fun.
I'm having a great time. It's Sora, and it's the free version. And it can only be you, but there's also like some famous people, like Shaquille O'Neal. You can film a video
Okay.
with Shaquille O'Neal, Marilyn Monroe, Mr. Rogers. A lot of people. And so the hard part is coming up with it can almost film anything. So what is it that you want to say or do on a
Okay.
video? Is
Well, that's
yeah.
good. Well, good for
So
you. And I know Lucky's going to cover some AI erotica in just a few
Yeah.
minutes.
Well,
Unless you
Mr.
want to go
Fun.
into it now. So what's ChatGPT doing? So
Well,
now that
well,
Mr.
let
Fun
me.
didn't
Well,
go down
one
that
question
path.
before I get into that. So, Mr. Fun, okay, so you're prolific. I'll call it TikToker, right? I mean, you make tons of videos about different things in your life. Your Mrs. Fun also does it as well for things that he's a big advocate for, like green stuff. So why is it that you need AI and gorillas in your videos? Like, why are you pulling?
So there's so many things that I spend so much time looking for a clip that I can merge my clip to. Like there's a lot of like, I don't know, there's I'm making something up here. There's a horse and it kicks somebody and then I come flying out the other side of the wall or whatever. And I think that's funny. And for years I've done stuff, similar to that. Now I can say to AI, have a horse kick me through a wall, and there I am. It's one video, and it can happen. So that's what's different. It could do anything.
Okay, so
It's
to
crazy.
Biff's point, he was bringing that. He and I were talking about this. So ChatGPT made a big announcement that they're rolling out erotica in their new update that's coming out. So it's an adult
That scares me.
ChatGPT. So you might want to consider incorporating this into your repertoire. But it basically has a less censored version of AI, so that you can bring in erotica kinds of things into your videos. So and in December they
Wow.
have some kind of like they're going to roll out some like age gating kinds of stuff. How they do that, I know a lot of porn sites, or my friends told me a lot of porn sites in different states have these laws that say if you try to access the site, you either have to check a box, or sometimes you have to send your driver's license in. So
Do you need to get your wife's permission?
I don't
That's the
think
only
so.
thing I'm afraid of.
I don't think so, unless you're sharing a phone.
Do you know where AI babies come from? A database.
That's good. Good. So I had this past week, I think almost on the same Friday you guys were sending AI and odometer things. I've been going to the sauna recently, and Mr. Fun, I believe you and I have been to the same sauna. This is at the place in Bethany Beach where we both have a residence, and we have not been to the
Together?
sauna together, you and I. But
Okay.
I gotta understand sauna etiquette. So I go into the sauna, then somebody walks in. Then 2 people walk in, and the sauna is maybe a 4-person sauna, something like that. And one person starts talking. And what do? Do you have to have a conversation if somebody starts talking in a
Well,
sauna?
okay, here are the two rules that I know of sauna.
Right.
Always wear a towel and look somebody in the eye. Don't look at them in any other way.
Well, we're not naked.
Well, okay, so check that box.
What were you wearing? Were you just wearing your towel?
I was wearing the first time I went in, I was wearing a bathing suit, but then I was wearing like athletic shorts, right? And people come in after they've been exercising. This is off the side of, which is also another point, of a pool, a large pool where Mr. Fun has done water aerobics. We've had this discussion before. Right. So
With
I go
old
to the
people.
sauna, I think it was Friday morning, and I walk in around 9:30, not thinking that it's water aerobics time. So I have to disrobe
Yeah.
in front of probably 40 old women so I can go into the sauna.
Disrobe meaning remove your
my
shirt?
shirt. You know, I had a sweatshirt on, I had a hat on, and then I just got to remove my shirt and then walk into this. But I have to do that in front of the women there.
Did you get any cat calls or anything?
I had a towel. So, but again, going back to the point is the fact that the first time I go into the sauna, somebody starts talking to me. And I'm like, it's like, hey, where are you from sort of thing, which I find this to be awkward, right? At best, when you're in the sauna. I did respond and I said something along the lines of, man, it's hot in here, or not thinking what else to say. And the guy tells me it's 220 degrees in the sauna. It is.
No, it
You look
isn't.
at yeah, they do it in
Is it?
Celsius, and it was
All right.
hot, and I was roasting. I felt like I was in a convection oven, and to the point where the next time my ass was burning because I was sitting on the wood. And then the next time I went in, the next time I brought a towel so I could sit on the towel. But it was this whole notion of talking to people, and people come in and they want to say something. So the next time I put headphones in, right, and just so I'm pretending like I'm listening to something instead of having a conversation.
Biff, I got to tell you, I mean, you're very proud of your body.
Yeah.
You've shared that with us before. I disrobe in front of everyone. I don't care. And I waddle my fat ass into the sauna. I sit there. Sometimes I have a bathing suit on. Sometimes it's just the towel. There may be a testicle hanging out. And I'll just strike up a conversation. Like, if they're uncomfortable, they can leave. That's my home. I'm
In all the movies,
shower.
when you see all the guys hanging out in the steam room, they're all chatting it up. They all have something like important to say.
I mean, honestly, this is like a 4-passenger car you're sitting in. This thing is not very large, so it is. Some people come in. There was a woman that came in the other day when I was in there. She was wearing sweatpants and a shirt. I'm like,
oh, then wait a minute. That's an issue.
It's
Like,
hot.
isn't there a men's sauna and a women's sauna?
No, this is co-ed.
No, it's co-ed.
Oh, okay,
It's a
that's an
co-ed
issue.
sauna. So then it's just and then the whole point. Okay, Mr. Fun, be honest. When you get out of the sauna, do you go right into the pool or the hot tub without showering, or do you go shower?
Well, first of all, I'd have to
Right.
have a bathing suit on to
Yeah.
do either of those things. And I normally go ready. I go sauna, hot tub, then back in the sauna, and then I jump in the pool and then to cool off.
So you
after
are
the whole
taking
thing.
your sweaty ass body and putting it right
Yes,
into
right
the
to the
hot
hot-
tub. Ugh. Ugh.
Isn't that why
Exactly.
they put chemicals in it and they turn the
Exactly.
temperature up? It kills all the germs.
I also find that there's very few times that I can say this, but while I'm sitting in the hot tub, it feels like my nails are more sensitive, my fingernails. So I often yank off a couple
Oh, they're
fingernail
so
tops
And what do you do with
while
them?
I'm in the sauna. I do it casually though. Nobody sees me. And I don't leave it floating. I just pinch my thumb and forefinger together and I make
That
my
might
nail and
be
I'll
the
take
grossest thing
I'll
I've
take it.
heard you say.
There are things I do I'm not proud of. I once got a hand job when I was sitting in a shower, and afterwards I was completely exhausted. I think it must have been heat stroke.
Definitely heat stroke.
so, so, so another one. So it's keeping up with the sort of the bath theme. I like to use these natural soaps. We had started out with Dr. Squatch way back when, and I've been using these things from the Dogfish they have beer soap and stuff like that. And so I'm on this bar of soap that Mrs. Biff had, and I unwrap it. I take it into the shower. I can't hold the thing. It slips right out of my hand. And to the point, I'm not sure. I mean, obviously soap is slippery. I've never had soap where I couldn't pick it up. Have you ever had soap where you couldn't pick up the soap?
What was the shape of it?
It was a rectangle. The thing is it just flies out of my hand. I've never had soap do that before.
Was it the softness of your hands, or was it the soap itself?
He couldn't cup the soap because he was cupping something else as he went into the shower.
You know, speaking of which, I Lucky, I got to tell you this. The last time we did the podcast at your house, before we got started, I snuck away and I just had this urge, so I used some of your hand soap to masturbate, and yeah. Thank you for letting me come clean.
I don't know where to go with this one. Now, every time I go into one of my bathrooms now, I'm going to think of your joke.
What do you call the soap you use to clean a dolphin? All-purpose soap. It's all-purpose soap.
All right. Well, that's good.
Sorry.
All right.
I joked too far.
So final thing for me, which I heard this today for the first time in a long time. I guess I'd heard it before and I'd forgotten about it. You know, famously, I talked about my mom having gone on a date with Elvis Presley. I guess my mom got around. She went on a date also with Don Meredith, who was a famous Dallas cowboy, who was one of the original announcers on the Monday Night Football program. He went to SMU University in Dallas. I'm not quite sure where they met, but my mom has gone on a date with Don Meredith of TV fame.
That's
crazy. Now, what year
it must have been around 1960 is the best I can tell. Somewhere in that range.
So there's no shot that you are he's not Dandy Dad.
He's Dandy Don. He is not Dandy Dad to me. But Dandy Don Meredith. But
Biff had a great throwing arm.
Yeah, that's right.
Wait a minute. For 1960, so Don Meredith was a player at the time then.
Yeah, he was. Well, he must have been around that because he was. I looked it up because he was born in 1938, so he was been 22 in 1960. So it would have been around there. I would think.
It appears your mom was a bit of a player too.
Very good. Very good.
Wait, so Elvis, what did your mom do? I mean, not literally. I'm genuinely interested. I mean, you're a good-looking man. I'm sure your mom was a beautiful woman, and you take after her quite a bit. And you're but why?
I don't know. I'm going to leave it there. I'm at this point, we're not going to go any further with it. It was just a factoid that I wanted to share with you guys. I appreciate where your head is going. So, Lucky, we came out of the gate with a lot here.
Yes.
But there are other things going on in the world because you have shared them with us. What are some of the highlights from the
highlights? The highlights of my week. But the big one, first big one I had was so MTV. Music, television, videos, which was, came about in I think it was 1981. Biff, I'll test you. What was the first video they played?
Video killed the radio star.
Exactly.
The Buggles.
Who said the Buggles?
I think it was the Buggles.
Buggles. That's right. 1981.
Wow.
But, they came out and announced that starting in 2026, they're going to shut down 5 of their music channels. MTV Music, MTV 80s, MTV 90s, Club MTV, and MTV Live. So they're starting in the UK, but the thinking is that they're going to start pushing this out to other geos around the world, North America, etc. I mean, how iconic is that for them to?
So we talked about this about a month ago when the VMAs were on, right? They made a play and they put videos back on TV. The coincidentally, the issue is, and I saw this this week, YouTube has had 10 trillion views of videos. 10 trillion. Think about that number of videos. And that's what's killed MTV. You don't need to go to TV to watch videos.
Yeah.
You do it online.
Yeah. But it's,
My brother, he's moving. He digs up all his DVDs. And he's got a friend that says, I can burn those onto a drive for you, whatever, and you could just play them off your computer or whatever. Spent 22 hours doing it, which was very nice. And my brother's got this what's it called? Sorry, guys. The thing you put in
Disk
your
drive?
Like a
computer.
hard drive,
Or
like
a
a just
flash
a
drive?
hard drive, like a disk,
Yeah.
it used to be a floppy disk. It's a
No, it's just
Flash
the
drive.
little thing that's like this thumb flash drive, right? So, he's got this, with 22 hours worth of music on it, blah, blah. I'm like, what? You don't need that
you
anymore.
know,
Like, right? Like, it's sad, but what a
yeah,
waste of time, right?
yeah.
Like, he could have gotten, Spotify and, just chose his favorite
Yeah,
songs.
I mean, the only difference is that if your brother was, like, traveling in an airplane around the world, you wanted access to it, but your brother's local, it's not like he's going. I mean, that's to your point, you can get that out of the cloud virtually everywhere. It's very
It's
true
sad.
everywhere, so,
Do you guys
Yeah.
still own music CDs?
I gave away all my CDs when I downsized. I probably had, I don't know, 200, something like that. Then we were talking about the car earlier, I buy this BMW that has a CD player. So now I have no CDs.
Mm,
I've actually gone to the equivalent of Goodwill to buy CDs for like 10 for a buck, sort of deal, just to have some music
wow.
that I can play on CDs. But I don't have
Mr.
anymore.
Fun, do you have a collection of CDs?
You have a box somewhere with a bunch of CDs in it. Yeah, but we don't
And
play
they are
'em.
just taking up space. Why doesn't anybody I have the same thing. I have a whole garage full of boxes of CDs. I'm like, what the hell why do we even
Yeah.
have these? But aren't they, we're going back to last week about I have a hard time throwing away hats. I have a hard time throwing away all those CDs.
Well, maybe the next
Yeah. Well,
Go
if you
ahead.
wanna spend yeah, I said if you want a guy who can spend 22 hours burning them into a hard drive for you,
Well, maybe
thumb
maybe
drive, let
Mrs.
me know.
Lucky's next car will have a CD player into it, because since all
Maybe.
she has is an FM radio now, so that'll be good for her. She can use them
Maybe.
there.
Yeah. Hey, here's a random silly fact. Did you know that if you spell taco cat backwards, it's still taco cat?
Well, yeah,
There you go.
who and maybe the first time ever anybody's ever put taco cat together. What it what
I
do they
just
call that?
stumbled
Is that a
on that.
palindrome? When it goes backwards and forwards? Same. Uh,
I don't know.
I'm gonna look it up while we're talking.
What
So
I
what else,
do
Mark?
know, what I do know is, did you see the big controversy with Trader Joe's and Smuckers this week over their Uncrustables, that PB&J?
I don't know the
So okay,
controversy.
so Smuckers basically
How are you saying
Smuckers,
it? Schmuckers or
Smuckers, the jelly
okay,
company,
Smuckers.
and they have
Okay.
all kinds of other products.
Right, right.
So one of their things that they're famous for is the Uncrustable, which is the frozen peanut butter and jelly. You defrost it. It's it's got it's like a pocket of peanut butter and jelly. But Trader Joe's basically copied it to the point where Smuckers is suing them. So I guess my first question is, number one, that is probably one of the most. I'd never had a Uncrustable. I don't think I would want to eat one. It violates my peanut butter and jelly sort of bylaws in terms of it has to be on bread. Do you guys like those Uncrustables? Do you eat those?
I'm not sure I've ever had one. If you recall, this is probably last year sometime, we talked about the NFL during halftime loads up on Uncrustables for the players to eat. They like to eat them because they're quick to eat, right? It's just a miniature peanut butter and jelly sandwich without crust.
This is so ironic. So ironic because my guys I work with asked me a week ago, "Do I eat them?" And I was like, "No, I never had one." And they bought them. They're sitting in the refrigerator
Did
at
you eat
work
one?
for me to try. I I
Yeah.
haven't had one yet.
Well,
I
Trader
haven't
Joe's.
had one yet. You know, try one.
I
Are
will
they
not. I
good?
refuse to even try one because I just think it's I don't know. It violates my, like I said, I have I'm
Yeah.
a big peanut butter and jelly person, so and it has to be on bread. But Trader Joe's is funny. How do you how are you so stupid that you're gonna I mean, there's no way to have a variant on the Uncrustable, but they tried it and they got caught, and they're gonna they're getting
I
sued
think
for
part of it too
trademark.
is their logo is very similar, right?
Like
They've
that.
got it. They do plays on words, and then they got this bite out of the sandwich. I saw the story. They do the same thing with their cereal brands. I think they instead of calling them Fruit Loops, they call them
Yeah.
Loopies or something
Yeah,
stupid
yeah,
like that.
yeah.
I've seen that. So oh well.
Yeah, my wife, suggested that I get a little chicken to make sandwiches, but, he couldn't get his wing in the mayo jar.
All right. So hey, just so we're quickly following up, a palindrome is a word, number, phrase, or other
Yes.
sequence of symbols that reads the same backwards as forwards, just like your taco cat. And here's
What
an
example?
example. This is a palindrome. A man, a plan, a canal, Panama. That is a palindrome, forwards and backwards. A man, a plan, a canal, Panama.
Okay.
So
Good to know.
we write that out. Just want you to know that might be the
Thank
subject
you.
line of this podcast. As I am always stretching for things to put out there, that might be the podcast.
The guys are talking about Panama this week.
apparently
Let's listen to
Taco
that
Cat.
podcast.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, Mr. Fun. I saw this story, and I actually, you're the first person I thought of when I saw this story. Okay, McDaniel College, which is a Division III school in Maryland. It's probably, I think it's in like Westminster area. They have a 60-year-old football player who suits up for the team, has not been in the game yet. But this guy, okay, so he's had, his story is interesting. His name's Tom Green, 60 years old. This has been his life. He's had a lucrative real estate career. He lost it all during the financial crisis. He survived stage 4 cancer. He played semi-pro football, never went to college, but he basically had this desire and this dream that he was never fulfilled of playing college sports. And so he basically talked to the coach, and he walked on, and he is trying to get into the game. He hasn't been in yet, but he's a defensive lineman. I thought, Mr. Fun, this is exactly you.
Yeah, I was going to try out for a team, but they wouldn't let me wear glasses under my helmet because they explained it was a contact sport.
Yeah, I was thinking that Mr. Fun, he would only be able to do if it was like bowling. Hey, weren't you like a good high school bowler, Mr. Fun?
1 year varsity, bowler.
I'm not sure 60-year-old bowler has the same ring to it as 60-year-old football player. But, McDaniel used to be what former college name?
It was
Western
Western Maryland.
Maryland.
Was that the name of it?
Yeah.
That's McDaniel.
But I'm pulling for that guy.
Cool. Good for him. Hopefully he gets in there.
Yeah.
So
Anyway, we'll update.
Yeah, my wife told me she was going to break up with me because of my obsession with football, and it's a shame because we've been together 15 seasons.
All right, I got two more quick ones. So I'm a big list person. I like, the top whatevers. And so I saw this list, and it was like a head scratcher to me. Okay, and we've talked about some similar lists in the past, but this list, it's from Insider Monkey, which I don't know. I really don't know that publication, but they came out with a list of the top 50 countries with the most beautiful women in the world. Okay. All right. So when you think of the most beautiful women in the world, Biff, you're pretty worldly. What are the countries you come up with?
I think the one that they traditionally say is it's the Scandinavian countries like Iceland or something like that, and the kind of the northern European countries.
Brazil.
I default to Brazil.
Brazil, number 2.
Isn't that
Iceland? Yeah, the Nordic ones are high in the list too. A lot of the European countries, U.S. Top. The U.S. is 3 in their list. Germany 6, Colombia 7. Who do you think their number 1 country was? It blew me away.
Wait, is it one that is going to really
100%.
surprise us? Because, okay, a week or so ago, some guy said to me, Ethiopian women are the most beautiful women on the planet. And I said, really? I started to notice they have a distinct look.
Okay.
And they are pretty women.
No.
Is Ethiopia on there?
I'm looking at the list.
So that was a waste of
I don't see them on the top
Sorry.
50 list. The number 1 most beautiful women, the country with the most beautiful women, South Korea.
I don't want to say something that's going to make
I
me
know a
seem
lot of
racist.
Korean women that are beautiful, but I just never would think of South Korea as the spot in the world that had the most beautiful women.
But what's nice is if you think one of them is good looking, you think they all are. Don't they look kind of alike?
Holy
No?
shit.
No.
Jeez.
No.
Yeah, sorry, all my
Jesus.
South Korean friends.
But it's South Korea.
So hey, by the way, so I just went on to insidermonkey.com, which is a financial website.
Okay.
And it's a bunch of finance bros apparently coming up with this. So that's it gets eyeballs for them, I imagine, at this point. So there's a bunch of lists.
Yeah.
I see the list. But so South Korea is number 1.
Oh, Brazil? Yeah, Brazil 2,
Brazil.
USA 3, Japan 4, Mexico 5, Germany 6, Colombia, Thailand, Italy, and Venezuela is the 10th.
So they've got multiple lists, because I'm seeing a list of the same one they have too that has, Iceland in the top 10. So they say they've got a bunch of lists. It seems like at Insider or Monkey.
It's funny. I'm looking at this list. I don't see any of the Nordic countries on this list. So who knows?
Who knows?
Well, I want to share with you that the difference between me and Lucky, he finds the most beautiful women in the world. And when you sent this to us earlier, I Googled the ugliest people by country, because I thought that would be fun to talk about the ugliest people per country. And by the way, ugly is mean. They define ugly as mean facial expressions, showing stress, body odor, and physically unattractive. Can you name the ugliest country in the world for people?
Bulgaria.
Men and women.
Kazakhstan.
Maybe they're not as deep as you guys. It's not. Neither of those are on the list.
Let's just do a region. Is it Eastern Europe, the number 1 country? Really? Okay.
No,
that's
one of them. And number two is I would consider Eastern Europe. Sure.
So number 1.
I'm going to say Canada.
Canada's not on the list. I'll give you number 5, Turkey. Number 4, Britain. Number 3, Russia. Then you got your Eastern European, and the number 1, which I would say is Western
European number 1. Western European number 1, Ireland.
That is correct. It says, now, I don't want to embarrass myself. It's Celtic.
Yes.
That word, right?
Well, you can go
Celtic,
either. You can
right?
go both ways on
Due
that.
to their,
but
okay, I can go both ways. During their due to their Celtic ancestry, Irish people have pale skin, farmers' tans, red hair, and frequently angular faces. Most also have green eyes. And when taking surveys of the most unattractive people in the world, the Irish consistently come up in the lower 5% of the most attractive.
And I don't see Ireland on my list, so there you go.
Yeah. That's according to schoolandtravel.com, their survey on the ugliest people by country.
Of course, Ireland has nobody living there. It's so small relative.
Right. They're not even Irish anymore, right?
But, anyways.
All right, and my last item. So this is, again, Mr. Fun inspired one. So talk about tops, which is our we've been doing this for the last 3 weeks. So come up with a topic, and we'll rotate through so you can come up with the best items for this category. Okay, so the category this week is things you hate to pay for. Mr. Fun, I'm going to let you go first because this one.
Okay, the number 1 thing that nobody should pay for, and whoever thought of this is a fucking genius, is bottled water. You should not have to pay for water. Bottled water is the thing I hate paying for first.
Yep.
And
go ahead, Biff. You got one?
Okay.
Bottled water.
All right. I've got a handful here. Anything in an airport convenience store. I just hate. It's just such a ripoff.
Yeah.
I just hate paying
for
anything in the convenience stores.
Yes.
And then, all right. Second, wine in a restaurant. I have done it, and I want to have wine. Price, immediately how overpriced it is when you're buying wine in a restaurant.
Yeah.
It just drives me. It's 3 times marked up. It just drives you nuts.
One of the things I hate to pay for parking. Parking sucks.
Me too. That was my number 2.
You guys, okay.
Parking. You know what I hate to pay for, guys? Air to fill up your tire. I can't believe I paid $2.50 for a minute worth of air. That really pisses me off. How can they make money selling air?
Well,
it's crazy. Air and water.
Look at you.
I asked Mrs. Lucky what she doesn't like to pay for. She said dry cleaning, which sucks.
Yeah.
Yep. And then I hate when you have to a restaurant has bread, and if you want more bread, they're like, yeah, it's going to be a little extra charge. I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
Really?
So here's my first world problem.
Yeah, go ahead.
For those that have ever played golf at a private country club, golf cart fees.
Yes.
For the second person in the cart.
Yes.
So just for edification for those that haven't done it, you pay $28 if I get a golf cart, right? I can take that golf cart on my own and just drive away, and I'm paying $28. If Mrs. Biff hops in the cart and playing golf with me, it's another $28. So it's 56 bucks. Meanwhile, she could have her own cart for
Same cart.
$28, but they're charging me $56 to use the same cart they would have previously charged me $28 on. It drives
Yeah.
me nuts.
Yeah. Well, you would think as much as you pay at a country club, they'd throw the carts in with the thing. Or like
Yeah.
with the initiation.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, guys. Let me ask you this. When you buy an electronic or like a yard equipment or something like that, I get great anxiety preparing to answer, would you like an
No,
extended warranty
never.
on that? You just say no every time.
I can't say I've not said
You've
no
never
every time, because if I've bought a computer, for example, I have said yes. But the other stuff, which is like, to your point, if I'm buying a $100 weed whacker, right, something like that, I'm not buying an extended warranty. That is a disposable item if it breaks.
W I would agonize, like, I would have to read the warranty for 6 days before I made a decision like
Mr.
that.
Fun.
I got another one that's just a pet peeve. I think you guys may find this funny. I love when I'm walking out of a restaurant and the hostess isn't looking and I can grab like 20 toothpicks. I never wanna pay for toothpicks. If you get in my car, I have a small stash of toothpicks. It's like my thing. I would never pay for a toothpick.
Mr.
Never,
Fun, I thought you were
never.
gonna say things you hate to pay for. I thought you were gonna say sex.
Yeah, well, no, I don't pay for that. You don't pay for that. I don't wanna say
You
it.
definitely hate to pay for it.
Yeah.
My joke of the day is similar to,
The final one I'll
to
add,
that.
because
So
of
what?
having done quite a few real estate transactions in my life, transfer taxes when you do real estate is the tax. You've paid property tax out the wazoo for the entire time you've owned a place, and then you have to pay another tax on addition to it. It makes no rhyme or reason for me, especially when you're selling a place.
You Yeah. But you can make sense of it that when you buy or sell, I get it. The government, the state, county, whatever, has their hand in my pocket. It gets even crazier, like when you're going through a divorce or when you're taking a sibling off your more. Then you pay more money to transfer the property. Like it's not
It's
even a
crazy.
consistent
It's
amount.
just the worst. So anyway,
Yeah, it's crazy.
that was a fun one. That was a
Yeah,
fun
yeah.
game.
Thing you
Well, now
hate to
their
pay
stress
for.
levels are high. What?
Things you hate to pay for.
Yeah,
Yes, exactly. It was very
you
good.
hate to pay for.
But like, the nice thing is
Tops.
nobody pays for this podcast, right? See, they said
Right?
all that we ask them to do is like and subscribe,
Yeah,
and
100%.
and we will get. If that is the case, we will get more sponsors beyond our favorite Scotty's Vodka. That would be a nice thing to do. But hey, Mr. Fun, you have you teased a risque joke a second ago. So why don't you give us the risque joke?
So, my wife and I are coming up with better ways to communicate. And she said, why don't we share our dreams? So I was like, all right, you go first. And she said, I dreamt that I was in a foreign country on the most beautiful beach in the whole world for 3 days. And she said, what about you? And I said, I dreamed of a threesome. And she said, was I the one of the women? And I go, no, you were on a beach in the most beautiful country for 3 days during my dream.
Very good. There are weeks that you don't get in the doghouse, Mr. Fun, and there are weeks that you build the doghouse in front of our eyes. So good for you. That's very good. So good, lucky. As I said, we got a German translation. Maybe we'll get another German translation for Mr. Fun's earlier jerk. How do they get a hold of us?
Talkabout2023@gmail.com. Keep them coming.
All right, excellent. Well, that's good. Well, it's been great seeing you guys. We came out firing on all cylinders, I think, today. But Mr. Fun, thank you for the jokes. You were a busy man this week, so we appreciate that and sharing those with us. And you have any final words, Mr. Fun?
You know what? It is a special request. We ask everybody to subscribe, like, share, whatever. Can you really subscribe? We would really appreciate it. It means stuff. When you get lots of subscribers, you're more important than when you don't. So
Yep.
subscribe,
we,
please.
we know who our super fans are, and we'd like to have fans that we don't think are that super. Is that the right way to put that? I don't know.
We'd like more super fans.
Okay, well, whatever. The April B's of the world. We need more April B's of the world who has only been turned
Yeah.
on to us for only a few months here. So we appreciate that. So, well, good. Well, great to see you guys. Thank you everybody for listening to us. Until we do it again next week for episode 148, let me just say goodbye. All right. Another good one, guys. Now it's outro time. The highlight of it. Go ahead.
Can I do
Yeah,
another
you can.
joke
I
for
want
the
to talk about
outro?
something else, but
I
go
got a
ahead.
quick discovery too I want to share.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, my wife told me I'm the opposite of a bus. And I was like, what? And she said, yeah, usually after riding a bus, she eventually gets off.
Jeez.
Chipotle hack. You guys are Chipotle eaters?
It's been a long time since I've been to one, but if I have the chance, I'll go.
Can't say it. I can't say it. I say Chipotle.
Anyway, the
something.
standard burrito or the bowl is like, now it's like, upwards of $15+
Right.
or whatever.
Yeah.
There's a little hack that I saw on social media. You can go online to the app, order one taco, get beans, rice, and one other side, and you can get 3 other things put on your taco, and you pay 50 additional cents for a large tortilla shell. You get that, it comes to about $4.50 total, one taco plus the 50 cents. You can make a burrito that is almost as big as the burrito that you pay $15 for. I did it this weekend. Mrs. Lucky and I did it. Highly encourage you guys to do it.
Oh,
He's
there
going
you go.
to do it right now.
He's going to do it. Mr. Fun is going to do it right now. So let's see if he can find the now that it's tech savvy. See if he can find his way back onto the podcast.
Because this is ChatGPT. How do I get back onto the podcast?
Yeah, how do I get back onto the podcast? He's going to come up. Maybe it'll be the AI Mr. Fun when he comes back into us right now as we're doing the outro. This would be really vamping at this point because I don't want to edit any of this at this point and cut out anything. I did want to talk baseball with him very briefly because he is as big an aficionado as you are in baseball. So let's hope that he gets back to us. So we'll give it a second here. But while we're doing it, it is the outro. It is our chance to. Oh, there he comes. Mr. Fun is back.
Froze up.
You froze up. All right. Well, we got and it just showed up on my screen. But thank you for coming back. Hey, Mr. Fun, quickly. Do you think the Ohtani game from the other night, the final game against the Brewers, was the best game ever by a baseball player?
I do.
Yeah? Yeah. They immediately proclaimed it on the game. Again, to remind people, he was the pitcher. He had not pitched in a game during the playoffs?
He had pitched earlier, I think.
No, but not in that series. He had pitched in a different series, right? So he had 10 strikeouts, pitched 6 shutout innings, and hit 3 bombs of home runs, right? One was out of the stadium at Dodgers Park. So that's our Dodger Stadium, excuse me. So you agree with it?
I do. Amazing. Superhuman.
Good. So, all right. Well, speaking of superhuman, I am going to do the official outro.
Let's do it.
Because I'm super. I think Lucky doesn't even smile at that.
He's confused.
It just hurt. It just hurt. So, anyways, it's our opportunity to thank the fans for listening and to invite them back again next week, where we will do this again. We'll talk about everything. We'll talk about anything. We'll look at Mr. Fun's left breast with his Scotty's Vodka logo.
I flop him over, or whatever it's called.
Yeah, you're flop him over. Well, good. All right, guys. Well, good to see you. And remember, we never say goodbye.
Thanks, guys. Lots of fun.
Yeah.